This is the all-new Volkswagen Virtus. Now, we've already told you plenty of details about this car in our unveil video, but now we're here in beautiful Amritsar to drive it. So, is the Volkswagen Virtus better than its immediate sibling, the Skoda Slavia or the popular Honda City? Well, let's find out. Now, there is no doubt that the Volkswagen Virtus is a looker, especially in this GT line trim. Now, talking about the front, you get these nice slim LED headlamps with integrated DRLs. But the real cool factor about these headlamps is that smoked effect that you get on the inside. Now, these headlamps, they're flanked by this minimal single slatted grille, and you also get this GT badge in the front. But what really gives it that aggressive appeal from the front is that air dam. It makes it look like someone like Sylvester Stallone. Now, this air dam, it's a mix of piano black and chrome inserts, and you also get halogen fog lights and not LED. Now, moving to the sides, you get more blacked out treatment in the form of the 16-inch Razor glossy black alloy wheels. Then, of course, you have the black treatment on the outside rear view mirrors, and then you also get a piano black insert with the GT badging on the front fender. Now, apart from the blacked out treatment, what you can also notice is the length of the Volkswagen Virtus. Now, this is about 20 mm longer than the Skoda Slavia, and both the cars are based on the same platform. Now, that makes it the longest car in its class. Alright, now the Volkswagen Virtus, it's also a high riding sedan like the Skoda Slavia, which means it also gets that massive 179 mm of ground clearance. Now, it might look like an eyesore with so much daylight underneath the car, but then what it also gives this car is SUV-like capability when it comes to bad roads. Now, moving to the rear, I don't know if it's just me, but it just reminds me a lot of the Jetta. Don't you think so? Well, anyways, similarities aside, you get further blacked out treatment in the form of this subtle lip spoiler, and you also get the smoke treatment on these smart LED tail lamps. Now, adding further contrast, below is this blacked out treatment on the lower half of the bumper with that chrome insert. Now, overall, we think the Virtus is the sportiest looking car in its segment. What do you think? Does it look better than the Skoda Slavia or the popular Honda City? Do let us know in the comments below. Now, if you love the exteriors, you're going to love the snazzy interiors. What we especially love is how Volkswagen's designed this entire dashboard to look like one single piece. And adding some further pizzazz is this color-coded outline. It really looks cool. Now, apart from that, the only thing that doesn't fit well here are these two air con vents, which just don't fit with the overall flowing design of the dashboard. They stand out like a sore thumb. Now, apart from the good-looking dashboard, there are a few small issues like the quality of plastics in certain areas, like the aircon, the seat ventilation buttons, the start-stop button. The buttons feel cheap and they feel a little out of place in an otherwise premium sedan like the Virtus. What we would have also appreciated is some soft touch materials on the dashboard, which would have added further premium appeal to the overall interiors. Now, talking about the seats, the cushioning is a little bit on the firm side, but then that will go a long way in making those really long drives comfortable. Apart from that, it's got all the right amount of support, and getting to the right driving position is pretty easy. What also helps in the Volkswagen Virtus is the view from the driver's cockpit. It's got a pretty high perch view like you're sitting in an SUV, so that's going to be easy for new drivers as well. Now, moving to the rear bench, as you can see, I've got plenty of leg room. Headroom is not an issue. However, what we would have preferred is better under thigh support. As you can see, there's still some gap here, and if I move my feet forward, it's a little bit better, but since this is the ideal sitting position, I think we would have liked better under thigh support. Now, apart from that, The Virtus is a comfortable 4-seater, but the moment you have a 5th passenger sitting, as you notice, the seat scob is narrow, and thanks to the armrest, you sit upright as well. So it's not really an ideal position to sit in for long hours. So as a 4-seater, the Virtus is pretty comfortable. Seating 5 people is a bit of a compromise. What is also fantastic is the boot space. At 521 litres, it's similar to the Skoda Slavia, but a lot more than the Honda City. You also get the option of folding the rear bench in a 60/40 format or folding it entirely, which would give you a lot more luggage space than any other SUV. On the features front, the Virtus gets a vivid 8-inch digital cockpit, 10-inch infotainment system with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, 8 speakers, premium sound system, sunroof, wireless charging, smart touch climatronic aircon, ventilated front seats, and more. On the safety front, the Virtus comes with up to 6 airbags, electronic differential lock, ESC, hill hold control, tire pressure deflation warning, ABS with EBD, rear parking sensors, and more. The only thing lacking is the absence of rear disc brakes. Now let's talk about engine and performance. Powering the Virtus are the same set of engines that you also see in the Taycan. So you have the 1-litre 3-cylinder TSI engine that's being driven by Vikrant somewhere out there, and you have the stonking 1.5-litre TSI Evo engine that we're driving. Now power figures are as impressive as they get. So you have 148 bhp and 250 Newton meters of torque. And you also get ACT technology with this engine, which is basically the active cylinder cutoff technology. Now gearbox duties, they're handled by the famed 7-speed DSG gearbox. Now unlike the Slavia, where you get a manual option for the 1.5-litre engine, you do not get that option with the Virtus. So should you buy the 1.5-litre GT variant, you have to buy it with the 7-speed DSG gearbox. On the go, the TSI Evo motor feels refined with excellent throttle response. A mere dab is all you need to get past slow-moving traffic. Now that lends you to believe that the 1.5-litre engine will surprise you when you finally nail the throttle. But it does not. Acceleration does not hit like a hammer. Instead, it's linear and builds speeds swiftly. Volkswagen claims a 0 to 100 km/h time of 9 seconds, which is quick and something we will verify with our V-Box soon. Thanks to the active cylinder cutoff technology, Volkswagen claims it's fuel efficient as well, with a brilliant figure of 18.67 km/L, again something we will verify soon. The 7-speed gearbox works just as it should. Quick changes up and down the gearbox, and it's a joy to use with the paddle shifters. Now let's talk about the ride and handling. Now, like we mentioned before, this is a high riding sedan with a high center of gravity. So with that kind of ground clearance, one is bound to think that the ride and handling will be biased more towards ride quality rather than handling, right? Well, technically it's true. However, Volkswagen has managed to tune the suspension extremely well, giving the Virtus a very good balance of ride and handling. The Virtus feels eager to dive into corners, and the quick steering complements it further. Given a nice set of twisty roads, the Virtus will be a joy to drive. The ride quality is excellent too. While we did not really get Mumbai-like potholes to test in Amritsar, the Virtus felt pliant and absorbing on whatever bad section we could manage. The SUV-like ground clearance also means one can just sail over bad patches and not think about monster speed breakers scraping the underbelly. Now, according to Volkswagen and Skoda, the market for mid-size sedans, basically this segment, is growing. And this despite there not being too many new launches in this segment. With the Virtus, Volkswagen wants to address this very demand by offering a viable alternative to the popular Honda City and its brother from another mother, the Skoda Slavia. The Virtus has a lot going for it. It's the largest car in its class, it looks premium, and in this GT variant, it looks sporty too. It's practical and spacious as an SUV thanks to that rear folding seat and that massive ground clearance. It's got a long feature list and performance to boot too. We think prices for the Virtus will start at about 10.6 lakhs for the base 1 litre variant and go up to about 18 lakhs for this top of the line GT variant. Now, going by what it brings to the table, we think the Virtus has all the virtues of being a winner.